Boy, here's one for the history books, Bill. The winged horse Pegasus galloping through the ages, carrying readers, writers, and arithmetic fans in their quest for knowledge. The entry sponsored by the Chrysler Corporation. This float celebrates human love of learning from the Stone Age to the Space Age. Quest for knowledge, there you see it. The mythical beast is covered with chrysanthemums, thousands and thousands of them, and his mane and tail are accented with 2 varieties of orchids. You mentioned representing the Pac-10 Conference in today's 75th Rose Bowl Classic. Need we mention the University of Southern California Trojans? USC is here for an unprecedented 26th time, and there you see Tommy Trojan, the mascot for the Trojans. Imagine way back in 1923 was the last. USC was here just a year ago, as a matter of fact.
That's right. Yeah.
And they won against, dare we say it, Michigan State.
That's right. So now they want to wipe up the other half of the state of Michigan. When their band and their float went by here. But here it is. Now it's the Trojans' turn to sound off. The big band from the University of Southern California with Dr. Arthur Bartner directing is coming down Colorado Boulevard. Mary?
Well, we have such a perfect bird's eye view from up above. We're about 40 feet above ground level. Here comes the USC band, and it's so funny when these bands come by, and depending on which group of fans you have, you can literally feel our entire stand shake.
270 Trojan musicians out there.
Here they go. Will you notice the Wolverine fans across the street are clapping right along with the USC band? How's that for spirit?
But you're right, our broadcast tower here was vibrating a little bit. I could feel it rocking because of the rhythmic moving of the people in the stands who are Trojan fans.
Now, I don't want to sound biased, but USC has won 19 out of its 26 Rose Bowl games, so the odds are certainly in their favor today.
Yeah, Larry Smith, the USC coach, was an assistant coach to Bo Schembechler, who's coaching Michigan again this year.
Oh, sure. One of the great coaches of all time. Well, it certainly wouldn't be difficult to follow the USC Marching Trojan Band. Appreciating this next entry is about as easy as, shall we say, taking a walk in the park? That's exactly what it's doing. The City of Los Angeles Parks and Recreation Department has brought a little piece of the parks right to us here in Pasadena. Sharing a Centennial with the Rose Parade, the float takes a leisurely stroll through the landmarks of Los Angeles' city parks.
Yeah, the stately domes that you see at the back of the float, that's the Griffith Park Observatory, perched above the LA Zoo, and the Rose Garden that's located down in Exposition Park. And the large bird of paradise, the official Los Angeles flower, sculpted from gladiola, iris, and bird of paradise petals.
And look at the koalas in the center on top. They're coated with Ming moss, statice, and yuva grass. And if they aren't just about the cutest animals around, I don't know what it is about koala bears, but they're wonderful.
Really cuddly. Mounted on quarter horses wearing Army blue and gold, this is Calvary B Troop from Fort Huachuca, Arizona, saluting the heritage and tradition of the Army in the Southwest. You're watching the Centennial Tournament of Roses Parade live from Pasadena.
Oh boy, look at this next one. It's making me dizzy to watch. The arrival of barnstorming pilots is a special event for the country folks who live in this turn-of-the-century farm. Oh. And these daring aviators are putting on quite a show for everybody here today. And for those of you at home watching, barnstorming is the appropriate name of this entry from Arco.
Indeed. We the people may be the most famous fighting words ever written, and that sacred phrase is brought to life in this entry called Celebrating a Tradition of Trust. This is the first Rose Parade entry from Merrill Lynch and Company. America's, should I say, bullish stand on democracy is symbolized by the Constitution, the Liberty Bell, and a fife and drum corps, playing their part in the quest for independence. And that famous trio there is dressed in silver leaf, statice, tree bark, and carnation petals. The Liberty Bell is plated with straw flowers, marigolds, and chrysanthemums. The music you hear is a recording of the Freedom High School Marching Band. You'll see them in just a moment. This is a rousing reminder that the entertainment is not the only thing that's free here today.
Lots of cheers for this band. From the Christmas town of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, we see the Freedom High School Patriot Band playing tunes from the 1770s. The fife and drum corps leads the way for the rest of the band, who are playing more contemporary tunes. It is their third Rose Parade appearance. Don't they sound sharp today? I guess you shouldn't say that of a band. They can look sharp, but they can't sound sharp. Make them off pitch.
Beyond game. Leave it flat and sharp.
This year, the Harmony of Nature's Network, brought to us by the General Telephone Company of California and winner of the Isabella Coleman Trophy. Enjoying this in 3D, those of you in Los Angeles, San Diego, Washington, and we know that nothing is diminished for those of you who don't have your 3D glasses. Happy New Year, everybody. The question is, what came first, the chicken or the egg? That's the question that the city of Duarte and the City of Hope National Center are asking with this float, a celebration of new life.
Favorite things about the Rose Parade is a chance to see and hear some of our country's finest marching bands. Here's one of the best from Carrolton, Georgia. It's the Carrolton High School Marching Trojan Band under the direction of Donald T. Hall. For the last 10 years, this 195-member group has placed first in class in all marching events in which they participated. Take a listen, you'll understand why.
I've wanted to say this for so long. Why don't you and I make some waves?
Together with you, I'd love it.
That is with the other Marine Corps as we see Let's Make Waves coming down the street. This troop from SeaWorld celebrating 25 years of bringing up a beautiful subject. This seaworthy entry, sponsored by SeaWorld, is titled Jump for Joy, and it enlists the underwater aid of some friendly denizens of the deep.
And by the way, this won for them the special trophy award given to a unique float that failed to win in some particular category. That striking black and white of the killer whale is achieved with black seaweed, white chrysanthemums. The sea is overflowing with orchids, and the coral reefs are splashed with pink, orange, lavender, and yellow roses. Now, this is one of the tallest floats in this year's parade, and the killer whale must be lowered by hydraulic valves to make its way under bridges and telephone lines. But hey, when it comes to celebrating SeaWorld and its high ideals, this float really rises to the occasion. I didn't say that, did I?
Bill, I think you did. Or I'm hearing voices. The American Indian group is led by Iron Eyes Coty, best known as the tearful Indian you'll recognize from our Keep America Beautiful campaign. A terrific example of what one person can do to keep a nation great.
We hope you're enjoying the 100th Annual Tournament of Roses Parade live from Pasadena.
Well, the Singapore Tourist Promotion Board has done it again. This spectacular float, actually looking, well, maybe a little bit nasty. From the Orient, he stands for goodness and nobility, actually. You know, 1988 was the year of the dragon, and Singapore Airlines celebrates in a huge way with their 7th Rose Parade entry. At the front of the float there, holding the pearl, the dragon represents birth, death, and rebirth. Actually, the pearl does. It's believed that those who are born in the year of the dragon are destined to accomplish great things in life. What about the rest of us?
Yeah, me, I missed it by a few years.
The dragon's head and body are decorated with anthurium, pampas grass, lunaria, orchids, and seaweed. Look at that face, with the smoke coming out of his nostrils, moving up and down as he goes along.
Well, here's an old hand at waving. His 55th consecutive year of the Tournament of Roses, Monty Montana, his famous matched pinto ponies. Posse includes his wife Marilee, Trudy Young, and Miss Rodeo 1988. Monty's lassoed some famous people, such as President Eisenhower. I even got lassoed by him one year when I was standing down on the curb announcing his parade.
What year was it, Bill?
That was a year sometime after 48. That I can't remember. But anyway, when he lassoed President Eisenhower, that was at the inaugural parade in 1952. The Secret Service went out of their minds, as you can imagine.
Oh, my word.